Hey everybody, welcome to NCEFT's Live Series, where you get to see, learn about, and explore the world of NCEFT. My name is Chris Swan, and I'm a physical therapist and the program director here at NCEFT. And today, we will be talking about stretching for horses and humans. Our horses of the day are Woody and Scooter. My camera person today is P. Debs, our volunteer coordinator. Thank you, Alondra, for moderating for us today. And then help from the barn will include Wendy and Matt, and they're going to be helping us with our horses. So my friend wanted me to start this thing in the splits, but I didn't think there was any graceful way to exit that. So we're going to head out to the barn and meet Woody. I'll tell you a little bit about him. So Woody is a 15 hand thoroughbred, a Belgian thoroughbred cross, and he is his main training was in dressage. And one of the things, oh, and also he's a Capricorn. So, you know, he's a little bit serious and moody and a worrier sometimes. But hey, Matt. So this is Woody, and he is one of our star pupils. He is used for both our therapeutic program as well as our adaptive riding program. And as you can see, his 15.3 makes him pretty big. If you remember from Marty's section, every hand is 4 inches, and the 0.3 means he's 3 out of 4 inches. So I'll let you guys do the math because I don't do math well. What I like about Woody for our program and for my patients is that he has a really big movement, partly because he's a bigger horse, but his movement is mostly in like a front to back direction. But since he is not like wide like Ned and wider like Elf, he has less lateral, but he's narrow so that he does give a lateral challenge, a side-to-side challenge. He also has, given his dressage training, he also has a lot of push, and so he will give a lot of energy in his walk. And we can make him walk with a large range of motion, small range of motion. He's gradable. And when we do a little jog, he gives you a lot of up and down, and a lot of patients really like that. Depends on the patient, and it's very much a very large challenge. So he has been a great horse for us. So thanks, Matt, and thanks, Woody. He's one of my favorites, and he's beautiful, and he's cute. He's got a fluffy little forelock. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about stretching and why do we stretch? Why do humans need to stretch, and why do horses need to stretch? There's a few reasons, and a lot of it has to do with your range of motion, posture, and injury prevention. So we can do stretching to help us stay in a good posture and be flexible. And then we also need to get warmed up for working hard and cool down after working hard. So that's where the injury prevention comes in. So horses and humans have a similar anatomy. Let me go grab I got a picture I want to show you. Just a second. Thanks, Matt. I forgot my picture. So I'm going to come in here in the shade a little bit, and we'll show you. Scooter's already getting ready. So let's talk a little bit about stretching. So you know how when you get up in the morning, you just want to stretch and get your muscles moving? Stretching also gives our bodies a little way to wake up and gives us our awareness of our body. So here I have this really cool picture to show you that I'm going to do some stretches on the horse, and you're going to see how we also do them on humans. And since I'm a better people stretcher than a horse stretcher, hopefully Scooter's going to be very cooperative for me, because I'll probably do a better job on my patient than I will on this horse. But if you look at these pictures, this is obviously the horse is the taller of the two. But see, all the color coordinations are pretty much the same anatomy in the horse and the human. It's really interesting. So then when we do these stretches, we have a lot of similar muscles to stretch, and a lot of similar muscles will be tight on horses as they are in humans. And then some muscles will work a little bit differently, but still need to be stretched. Now this one is the same thing, but it shows you how, if you look at the anatomy here, here's the forearm, the wrist muscles, hand muscles, and finger bones. I'm sorry, not muscles. I'm talking about bones right now. And that would be the horse walks on the equivalent of us walking on our one finger and one toe. So it's really a kind of a neat dynamic that we don't really get to really appreciate sometimes when we're thinking about horse movement. And part of the fact that the horse's anatomy is 90 degrees to ours helps us do treatment. And then we kind of talked about that last time when Matt and Daryl were out here showing you about long winding horses. So let's move on. Let's bring over Scooter. Come on, Wendy and Scooter. All right, so we are going to do some stretches for, oh, and I wanted to tell you that Scooter is a 15-hand quarter horse, and he's 20 years old, and his main training has been Western reining and some Western pleasure. So he's a chill Western guy. So we're gonna start and we're gonna do kind of each of his limbs and then some spine stretches, and I forgot the doggone carrot. Doggone it. So we'll see if he does cooperate without a carrot today. Wendy, which side do you think I need to stretch for? All right, so I'm gonna really be brave and try to stretch his left side and see if he's gonna cooperate. I'm really gonna set myself up here. So we're gonna start with all the muscles on like the back side and along your side. So if everyone wants to reach up their one hand and kind of stretch their arm over or pull it over and get that big stretch, those are the stretches that we're gonna look for first. And then we're also gonna stretch kind of the front of the shoulder and the chest muscles. One really cool thing before I start on the stretches is that people don't know is that horses don't have a collarbone. They don't have the clavicle that holds their front limb to their body like we do. We have this collarbone and our shoulder blade, and the big shoulder blade in here. There's no collarbone, just muscles that hold their leg and skin, of course, that hold to the body. So it gives them ability in certain ways and movements. They can't like do this whole thing like we can, and their joints will do. So, all right, Mr. Scooter, I'm gonna see if we can stretch out these muscles through here. And I'm gonna bring your foot up. Good boy. Oh, and he's so good. I'm gonna try and stretch him out forward. Let him down gently. Oh, yeah. So I can't pull him too much because I don't know what there. Try to, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds. And sometimes they'll actually stretch into it. So for the back stretches or the front of the chest stretch and get some of these neck muscles through here, which is kind of like doing a little bit of this stretch and then a little bit of this stretch. So I'm gonna try that, and then you and Scooter can stretch together. We'll see how agreeable he is for the stretch. So I'm gonna get him to bring his foot up. Good boy. And then I'm just gonna bring him back a little bit, hopefully without him moving back. Always fighting it. There he goes. Oh, stay. There. Good. So I'm not, but you can see like this is lengthening now all through here. Yeah, good boy, Scooter. And then he's going to bring that forward. Good. He held that for a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm asking Scooter, there are a couple different stretches. There's an active stretch and a passive stretch. And I'm kind of asking him to do an active stretch because that's more effective for them, and it's more effective for humans if we actually move ourselves through the stretch versus your physical therapist stretching you out and possibly overstretching you. So it helps everybody have a better outcome is if the horse or the patient can be actively stretching. So I'm going to move to the back, and you know how we all sit a lot and we all have been at our desks and we're gaming and watching TV. We get really stuck in a lot of places. We get tight here behind our skull. We get tight in the low back. We get tight in the hip flexors, tight in the hamstrings. I know somebody that's got really tight hamstrings, but I'm not going to make her show you how to stretch. But that's the hamstring stretch is the one I was doing when I first started. Wendy, I outed Wendy. Sorry, Wendy. So for Scooter, I'm going to start with the kind of gluteals and hamstring stretch. So I'm going to see if he's going to pick up his leg, and we're going to pull him forward a little bit. Oh, he's got a little drop down there. Okay. All right, Scooter Pooter. Let's see if he'll pick up his leg. Good boy. And then I'm just going to lift him up a little bit, and that's going to stretch up here near his bottom. And then if I can get him to bring that leg forward. Oh, good. Oh, that's a tight one. Good boy. I'm going to support him here a little bit more. There. Oh, that was a better one. Yeah. Good boy. He's a good stretcher. Okay, now I'm going to bring him back to good man. All right. You're such a good example. So for the next one, we're going to stretch his hip flexors, which are inside here. And those are like these ones, like when you've been sitting for a long time and you get to stand up to like transfer to a different chair or to try and walk across the room and you're kind of like, oh, really stiff. That's these ones. And again, we sit too much, so they get really tight. Horses, it can inhibit how much they can, how long of a stride they can take. This is kind of what we're working on for both of these muscles on both limbs. So I'm going to start the same way. Good boy. And this one, I'm going to come back and see if he'll give me a little drop of this hip flexor, drop of this pelvis. Oh, good boy, Scooter. Make sure I'm staying in line, that I'm not getting him off balance. And then drop that leg down. Oh, he's a good stretcher. Good. And then you can see how he has to pull that leg up. He activates it from here. Okay. We did a lot of limb stuff. Thanks, Matt, for he brought my pseudo carrots. We did a lot of limb stuff. Now I'm going to like move into the spine area. So we're going to start, since I'm back here, I'm going to do this a little bit backwards. Actually, I learned, you know what I learned is that you're supposed to start stretches from the back and a lot of body work from the back, because you want your horse to move from the back to the front, from the back of their body first. And I totally forgot that because I just barely learned it, but now I reminded myself. So I'm going to help Scooter stretch out this part of his back. And I'm going to do like what's called a butt tuck. And so you just kind of run down along his gluteal muscles, and hopefully he will tuck his butt under a little bit. There you go. Just a little bit more. You can do oh, he does. I can see it's tighter on his left side. Oh, there's a question. Sweet. Yes, horses can kick while they're being stretched, so it's really good to know your horse. And you know what? I've never been kicked by a patient, though, when I was stretching them. So, well, I probably can't say that for sure, but it's not as likely to happen. Yeah. 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 He's being very calm, and he's got licking his lips. That's a good sign. And then some horses, I'll just sneak this one in here, like it when you got to pull their tail a little bit, and he'll actually maybe lean into that because I feel him pulling against me a little. So that means he's really getting a nice stretch, like from his SI joint all the way down. We don't really have an equivalent stretch in humans for that one, but I just put that in there. That would be funny. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my carrots. I'm trying not to drop them on the ground, because then somebody's going to be looking for them. Okay, so we're going to work our way down the spine. We're going to start with the really top, and then get them to stretch further down along his spine, and then we'll do some side spine stretches. All right, Mr. Scooter. So I'm going to try and look for him to bring his chin towards his chest like this, not over here. So more, yeah. See if I had a carrot. There we go. Good boy. Good boy, come on right here. Good, good. This is hard for him. Yeah, see, I want him to bend right here. So I'm just gonna get yeah, there you go. Good. Let's try that one again, and maybe he'll get a little looser, and then I'm gonna have him bring his head down a little, and as we go down with the head, it's gonna stretch further down his neck. Right here. And they said, like with a carrot, it's easier because you keep contact with their lips, but I don't want him to think my hand is a treat. There we go. Come on, come on. That's it. Good, good, good. Yeah, good boy. So that gets them. And then you can also go all the way down, like between their knees. And I'll see if he'll do that. So you just move a little further down. He's going to just chase me around. Oh, you're just already. Right here, right here, right here. Good boy. Oh, look at that. Good, Scooter. What a good man. That was really good. So those ones get all the way back into here. So if you remember like the pictures of the spine on the people, for us, if we need to turn a quarter, we can kind of rotate like this, but horses need to bend like this because remember, they're like a table and they need to do this. So it's important to also stretch these paraspinal muscles. And a passive stretch for that would be like us kind of just, well, if you're laying on your side maybe and you do this, I guess. For him, I would hold him at the withers and the hip, and then I'm going to just try to get him to bend a little bit like that. He's still eating, so he's being a little bit patient with me, but I don't feel like this one. I feel like this. Oh, there he goes. Now he's going to look that way. That one's, oh, there he goes. Oh, good boy. Good boy. He is, but then he licks his lips, so he's like, okay, that's all right then. I like that. Okay, and so now an active stretch for that is going to be another carrot. And I'm just going to get him to bring, but I don't want your head there. Now we're stretching the side that Wendy's on. That's it. Good boy. So he got back to about mid-rib. I'm going to just try the other side real quick and see what he can do. And then that's like, do I have any other cool fun facts that I forgot to talk about? Ooh, this is tight. So his left side is tight. Oh, yeah, thank you. Good boy. So he can only reach here on that. So it's good to do. Yeah. So P-Debs, I'm going to see if you can go on that side and hopefully we can still hear me. The last thing I want to talk about is the core. You know, us PTs, we're all about core. Tight core and loose muscles. Strong core, I should say, not tight. You don't want tightness. So I'm going to help Scooter both stretch his back like along, like if you imagine bringing your chin to your chest and kind of, here, I'll do it from this side. Okay, so this is essentially, he's going to kind of, if you do this and kind of go like that, and you push your back up to the ceiling, that's kind of what we're going to ask him to do and activate his core to do it. Because the more you have a better core, just like humans, strong core and flexibility, you have no back problems. Us old people, we get back problems because we're not good at being flexible and have a strong core. Oh, thanks, guys. All right, so we're going to do tummy tuck. So I'm going to just get under here and I'm going to rub his belly and hopefully you'll see his back come up and flatten out a little bit. That means he's really gathering his core together. All right, Scooter, and hopefully he doesn't kick me. Oh, yeah. See that? Oh, look how flat that. Oh, and he likes that itch too. You can see his face. He's happy about it. Oh. Yes, they do. They're a lot like us. And then we'll see if he holds it. He's holding it for a little while. That's awesome because that means he kept his core engaged. And that's what we really, oh, and he loves it. Thanks, Scooter. He's such a good boy. Yes, horses do frequently have, they're handed, they have handedness like we do. And so they will have tight sides. That's why I asked Wendy if he had a tighter side. I wanted to kind of stretch that side a little bit. So definitely not uncommon. And sometimes it can be from the horse or sometimes it can actually be from the rider. If your rider is really a lot more unbalanced and stuff, over time it will cause the horse to have tightness and unbalance. Right, and that's true, mounting and dismounting. Here we try to practice both sides to even out the horse. I know, he's like, Chris, I know you got some more snacks in there. This is why we don't do a lot of carrot stretches with our horses because they don't pay attention to what they're supposed to be doing. So I think that was it for me. Thanks, Wendy, for reminding me about that last stretch because I love that. And so I wanted to also talk about the difference between Ned and Woody and those guys. We do Ned, remember we mentioned Ned, he gets to do tummy tucks every week because one of my patients comes out and we practice reaching and stretching while we give our horse a workout at the same time. So, so that's it for me. Thanks, Alondra and P-Debs and Wendy and Matt. And be sure to join us Friday because Rochelle's going to talk about bringing mindfulness and changing your perception around doing everyday chores. And that will be at 11 o'clock on Friday. And I will be there for sure because I hate doing chores. And if I can make it more enjoyable somehow, I want to learn about it. So be sure to join us then. That's it for me. I think I'm done. Thanks. See you guys next time.